All right, let's dive right into this. Welcome to This Explainer, where we take complex, sometimes confusing topics and totally break them down so you can walk away with absolute clarity. Today, we're taking a super fascinating look at the automotive industry. Specifically, we're decoding what I like to call the 0% APR dealership illusion. We're going to uncover the hidden mechanics behind car dealership financing. That way, the next time you step onto a car lot, you are completely in the driver's seat.
So picture this scenario for a second. You've been browsing the lot for hours, you finally found a car you absolutely love, and now you're sitting across from the salesperson at their desk. They do some typing, look up at you, slide a piece of paper across the desk and say, "Good news, you qualify for 0% financing." Now, I gotta admit, I almost fell for this exact same pitch about 3 years ago when I was car shopping. You sit there and you think to yourself, wow, no way, that sounds incredible. 0 interest. It's basically free money, right? Just sign me up. I mean, the seductive pull of that phrase is literally undeniably strong. But we really have to stop and ask ourselves, is it actually free money? Because when it happened to me, something just felt a little off. You know, the pitch was almost a little too smooth. So instead of just signing on the dotted line right then and there, I went home and I actually started doing the math. And man, what I found was genuinely eye-opening. It completely shattered that whole free money myth for me. So today, we're gonna pull back the curtain and look at exactly what is going on behind that incredibly tempting offer.
How manufacturers move cars, peeking behind the dealership curtain.
Okay, to really understand this 0% offer, we first have to understand the core business model. When a massive auto manufacturer has a ton of inventory that they need to move, and I mean, they need to move it fast, they rely on 2 primary levers to get buyers in the door. The first lever is the cash rebate. This is just a direct, hard dollar discount taken right off the sticker price of the car. It might be $1,500, maybe $3 grand, sometimes even more if they're really desperate to clear out a specific model. The second lever is subsidized financing, and this is exactly where your 0% APR offer lives. Now here's the critical secret the dealers conveniently forget to mention during that really smooth sales pitch. In almost all cases, you have to pick one or the other. You rarely, if ever, get both. It's either take the cash rebate and get a standard auto loan, or take the 0% and say goodbye to that cash rebate entirely.
So what does this 0% annual percentage rate actually represent? Well, subsidized financing simply means the car manufacturer pays the interest on your behalf just to make the deal look really attractive. The interest isn't magically disappearing into thin air, right? The manufacturer is just absorbing that cost to get the metal off their lot. Basically, they're paying the bank so you don't have to.
The math showdown, rebate versus 0%.
All right, let's look really closely at the exact math that the dealership is sincerely hoping you won't bother to do. Let's run a concrete real-world example here. Let's say you're buying a car, and the sticker price is $32,000. The manufacturer comes to you and offers a choice. Option A is a $2,500 cash rebate. Option B is 0% APR financing for 60 months, which is your standard 5-year loan.
If you choose the rebate route, you deduct that $2,500 right from the sticker price, which means your total loan is now $29,500. Assuming a totally standard interest rate of 6% over those 5 years, your estimated interest paid will be roughly $2,700. Add that all up and your total cost out of pocket is approximately $32,200. Okay, now let's look at the 0% APR route. You forfeit the rebate, so your total loan is the full 32 grand. But obviously, you pay absolutely 0 in interest, so your total cost remains exactly $32,000. Surprisingly, at a standard 6% interest rate, the 0% APR route actually wins this showdown by exactly $200. On paper, right here, it looks like the dealer was totally giving you great advice.
But wait, here is the massive plot twist. 4%. That math we literally just did, it only works if the interest rate you'd get somewhere else is hovering around 6%. The very second your credit is actually good enough to secure, say, a 4% rate or lower from your own local bank or credit union, the math flips entirely. At 4%, the interest you pay on that smaller loan balance is low enough that the cash rebate becomes the definitively better deal. Conversely, if market rates are way higher than 6%, well, then the 0% APR starts pulling ahead much more aggressively.
So the absolutely crucial point here is that 0% is not some automatic, undeniable victory. The true winner depends entirely on 3 interacting variables: your specific interest rate, the actual size of the cash rebate being offered, and the term of the loan. Dealerships are banking heavily on the fact that most buyers won't pause in the total excitement of the showroom to actually sit down and run these specific variables.
Beware the hidden traps. Credit scores and long terms.
Now, even if the math looks fantastic on paper,
There are two major, potentially super damaging traps lurking right there in the fine print. The first trap is the credit requirement itself. To actually get that 0% APR, it almost always requires a stellar FICO credit score. We are talking 720, 740, or even higher. If your score is below that threshold, the offer might technically be advertised on the table, but you won't actually qualify when they run your credit in the back office. And here is where it really hurts. Just applying for it triggers a hard credit inquiry on your report. This means you run the very real risk of lowering your credit score for a 0% offer that you were literally never going to get in the first place. Ouch, right?
Trap number 2 is the loan term itself. A lot of these 0% deals are stretched over 72 months, which is 6 full years. Just follow this timeline with me. In year 1, you're driving off the lot and everything feels great. New cars smell, all of it. But cars depreciate, and they depreciate incredibly fast. Because you finance the full price of the car without a rebate to lower that principal balance, by year 3, you are highly likely to be entirely underwater on the loan. That means you owe the bank way more money than the car is actually worth on the open market. If you need to sell the car suddenly, or heaven forbid it gets totaled in an accident, being underwater is a complete financial nightmare. You're basically stuck paying for that depreciating asset all the way until year 6 when the loan is finally actually paid off.
Your dealership playbook. Taking back control.
All right, you guys don't just want to know about the problems, you want the actionable solution. So here's your concrete 3-step action plan that every single buyer should execute before ever stepping foot into a showroom. Step 1, know your credit score beforehand. Please do not let the dealer be the very first one to tell you what your credit looks like. Step 2, get pre-approved by your local bank or credit union. This gives you a totally realistic benchmark rate to work with. And step 3, when the dealer makes their 0% pitch, just pull out your phone and run the math. Compare the cash rebate scenario versus the 0% scenario using the actual rate you got in step 2. Honestly, it takes about 5 minutes on a calculator and it instantly strips away all the mystery.
The core philosophy you really need to carry with you is this: dealers aren't evil. It's literally just business. They are simply really good at making one specific option look obviously better when the reality is far more complicated. Your job isn't to fight the dealer, your job is just to know your numbers. Once you understand the mechanics we've covered today, you stop being the person who gets dazzled by slick dealership marketing, and you start being the person who actually secures the better financial deal.
So, I want to leave you with this final, absolutely crucial question to think about the next time you are in the market for a vehicle. Before you let yourself get dazzled by 0%, what is your real rate? Go find out, run those calculations, and take back control of your financial choices. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope you feel totally empowered and ready to tackle your next car purchase. Catch you next time.